Negotiator Brexit news. Negotiations resume in Brussels after Theresa May's customs compromise. The Prime Minister offered a new backstop proposal while attending the US Western Balkan Summit in the Bulgarian capital of Sofia in a bid to once again move along halted negotiations of the UK and US future relationship. Westminster's new proposal involved keeping Britain locked to the US customs union until the Irish border question is truly satisfied. However, this isn't well received by the British government as Brexiteers. The EU had initially proposed just keeping Northern Ireland in the customs union, creating a goods border in the Irish Sea, but this was rejected by Mrs May, leaving negotiations in limbo. After a meeting with Mrs May, Irish Prime Minister Leo Varadkar said he believed his British counterpart had made real progress in moving Brexiteers in her cabinet closer to accepting the need for a backstop. This has once again heralded the opportunity for talks on the future relationship after Mr Varadkar admitted he feared negotiations could completely break down with Britain closer than ever to leaving the EU without a deal, because of the border issue. While it is not expected for Mrs May's proposal will be based out this week, as government officials have refused to comment on the matter, talks will cover many technical elements of the divorce. Official agenda, released by both the EU and UK sides, says meetings will be held from Tuesday to Thursday to discuss the future relationship and the withdrawal agreement as remaining issues. The European Commission's chief Brexit negotiator Michel Barnier admit there is still around 25%. Britain has said the deadline for settling the remaining issues is October, while Mr Barnier wants progress in time for an EU summit on June the 28th. Unfinished business between the two includes how disputes are solved, managing nuclear and radioactive materials, government contracts, information sharing and the role of the European Court of Justice. Both sides of the negotiating table have released papers on the future of security and defence relations after Brexit. The EU remains clear that Britain will not be able to have the same access to European security cooperation unless individual treaties and agreements can be concluded. This caused a significant rift between Brussels and Westminster over the US Galileo satellite navigation system, which Britain has pumped over £1 billion into since its launch. Britain threatened to create its own domestic system if it is frozen out of the EU programme, as UK government sources reveal. They believe Brexit is being exploited to economically benefit EU companies working on Galileo. While the most contentious issue remains the Irish border, the US rules protecting regional products will likely play a less fiery role in negotiations. Brussels has a set of rules ensuring champagne can only come from Champagne, Manchego cheese from La Mancha and Cornish pasties from Cornwall. The EU wants to ensure the rules are written into British law, but Westminster will likely only agree as long as it continues to apply to British products in the EU after Brexit.